Yes, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is still AM Chat. You missed the first discussion, you missed the newspaper review. Not to worry, we're going now to another discussion this morning. And in the studio with me is a gentleman. He is Oladipo Igbeyemi. He's the chairman, Waste Managers of Nigeria, Lagos State. And this morning we want to take a look at Cleaner Lagos initiative. It is important for us to discuss this matter. Overnight, I welcome the gentleman. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you.
You're looking so clean. You're looking all whitey, and fine. It's a little bit. It's a contrast to what some of the issues that we get to discuss about the Cleaner Lagos initiative. But it is also important, like the guest we had on the newspaper review segment, he was talking about Martin Luther King, he was talking about America,
right.
How it was important for the mindset of Americans to be turned, to be changed towards positivity, making them believe in themselves.
Absolutely.
And that is why we have a country called America.
Absolutely.
A lot of people say it's the greatest country in the world, but I beg to differ. Nigeria is the greatest country in the world. Now, Cleaner Lagos initiative, let the people know your mind. What is the vision, or are the vision towards this initiative for Lagosians?
Thank you very much, and good morning, Lagos. Thank you that you for making the introduction of Martin Luther King. And it is also important that we know that the brand should be created and coined, and we should name it Made in Nigeria. And we should be able to sustain that Made in Nigeria brand and back it up with viable businesses as well. So in line with this, I think it is important that we have a local content, and that is including residents and nationalities of this country in whatever we do. And in every government or government implementation of every program should also be people-oriented. So having said this, I think it is safe to say the reason or the purpose of bringing the Cleaner in Lagos initiative or creating Cleaner Lagos initiative is to further make waste management, first of all, easily accessible and complement on the existing rules and regulations that guides waste management. Unfortunately, that is not so.
Why so? Right. Why are we having so much problems balancing this?
Yes, there's so many factors to that, and I'm sorry, I'll have to be very, very open this morning.
Be open.
Right. Okay. Right. When the whole issue started with a non-inclusion from the government part, if we are going to have a program of this magnitude, the first thing I think that should be put into consideration is that there are existing people that are doing this job. And if you want to improve or complement the already existing people on the job, I think it is safe to say there's need for inclusion. You need to collect and call the already existing operators and tell them, you know what, we need to improve on this job. It is you're doing a good job, but development has overtaken whatever you're doing, and we need to improve on it. And as government, we want to help you to improve on it. It would have been able to ease the vacuum, because what you see now is a vacuum, and what you see now is the lack of inclusiveness from the government, and that has brought about the path of what we have on the streets. Right. And if the government had done that, we would have been able to submit our expertise, because we are experts on this job. Most of us have been doing this job for well over 20 years, and a good amount of us are actually internationally recognized. And it is also safe to say that there can never be any other expert in this field that knows the terrain, that knows the people, that knows the local peculiarity of this job than we that has been doing it. So without the inclusion that should have taken place. We started with the prog. Right. We went further. And Cleaner Lagos initiative was given back to by Lagos State government. And they told us that they had concessioned out the domestic part of our job. And I'd like to elaborate on that.
Elaborate.
Right. The domestic part of our job includes the door-to-door service. And that is bringing a compactor, which is the truck that is used to cut away the refuse, and going to the place where the refuse is being generated, and that is our households. And once that is done, we go there, we cut away the refuse right from the path of generation, the place of generation of the refuse, and then it is carted away, and it is eventually subsequently taken to the dump site or the created landfill site to evacuate the refuse, which is going to be the final resting place. If you do not attack the problem from root, obviously it will germinate and come back again. So if you do not go to source where the refuse is being generated, which is the source of generation, which is our each and every household door to door, you will find that the refuse will find its way back to the medium. Because what is happening right now is that we were promised heaven and earth, that Vision Scheme, who has been concessioned to do the job, has the capacity, has the temerity, has the technological know-how, and we are finding out the hard truth that they do not have it. They do not have the merit to do the job. They do not have the equipment to do the job. They do not have the capacity and the experience to do the job. The only people that can do the job properly are the people who have been doing the job properly.
Now you're talking about inclusion.
Right, yes.
We're going to talk about that when we return. We have a package on waste management that we want to bring so our viewers can actually follow on what we're discussing. So, relax. We'll take a short break, and of course we want our viewers to know that they can call in on the show and ask questions. You live in Lagos State, please call in to us. There's a professional here to answer all your questions as regard waste management. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Several Nigerians are not aware of their duties to their immediate environment.
We must make sure we are more responsible with the way we generate the waste, the way we gather the waste, and the way we dispose of the waste. So, if people are not conscious of this, people will throw things in places where it cannot be collected.
Bothered by the persistent trend, government officials and waste management experts converged on the first National Waste Conference with the theme, Developing a Sustainable Framework for Waste Management. Discussion focused on how to achieve the objectives of the EPR and other related policies towards achieving national and international declarations.
More or less 70%, between 70 and 80% of waste is not managed in this country, which is a huge amount of waste, which is lost in the environment. So clearly there is a lot of to do.
We are hoping to get to every individual out there to know that waste management is not just about government and private sector, but it's also about all of us, all our hands being on deck towards maintaining a better environment. We're developing it along the way. It's a sustainable framework. So as we're going along the way, it's something that will be a gradual process.
For now, Lagos State seems to be leading the pack in the country, but to what extent has the state gone?
It's a bad situation here. All our waste are dumped together. Some are not even bagged. We dump waste indiscriminately. And this makes it difficult for progress, whether we want to believe it or not. Those who are coming to pick will find it difficult to pick. To transport is another problem. You will agree with me at times when you drive on the streets of Lagos. You see papers, leaves flying all over the place. It's a terrible challenge for long.
From these indications, experts say Nigeria cannot be an island when it comes to waste management technology, effective waste collection and billing, and energy from waste, among others. Yes, welcome back. If you're just joining us, it is AM Chat, and the discussion this morning is Cleaner Lagos Initiative. Before we went on the short break, our guest, Oladipo Igbeyemi, the chairman of Waste Managers of Nigeria, Lagos State, was actually letting us know about his position concerning the size of waste that we see on our Lagos streets, in our marketplaces, which just seem not to go away. The smells are back, and the pile are actually the reality of the day. Now, before we continue the discussion, we want you to know that you can call in on the show to ask whatever question you want to ask concerning waste management in Lagos State. We have a call. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning. Good morning. Please, that call is not meant for us. Okay. All right. Oladipo, you were talking about inclusion, and I said when we return, we're going to talk more about inclusion before we talk about some other issues as we expect calls also to come in. So let us understand what you're talking about when you talk about inclusion.
Okay. Inclusion actually means if you have a system already in place and the system works and you want to improve on it or you want to change it for whatever reason, I think it is only important that you include anybody that is
on ground
and is involved in an already existent system that is working. If for whatever reason the system is not working, for example, I'll set an example right now. You as a host of this program, you know exactly what you do. If there needs to be a change to happen, whether in the furniture or in the change of program, I think it is only important that you be consulted first and spoken to and told the reason why the person who wants to make the change wants to make the change, wants to improve on it, and it needs your take on it. If you're not included and a change is being made, the system that's already in place will be overridden, and there's probably going to be a vacuum that will be created.
So how do we bridge the vacuum? How do we move forward? How do we address this issue so that we do not have the sites that we are seeing right now? The truth be told, the deaths are not carried when they ought to be carried. I think we have a call. Hello? Okay, we lost the call. How do we bridge that gap?
Right. It is safe for me to say right now that the only way we will be able to bridge the gap is to reinstate the existing operators, because we have tried on several occasions.
I think we have a call. Yes. Beg your pardon. Yeah, hello? Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, we can hear you.
Hello?
Okay, please, when you're calling on the show, make sure you're far away from your TV set if your TV is on, or you tune down or turn down the volume of your TV so you can actually communicate. That's the only way we can communicate. We have another call. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's your name, please, and where you're calling from?
My name is Adam.
You're calling from where, please?
I'm calling from Alakuko.
Okay, Alakuko, go ahead. You have a question for my guest?
I have a question for the chairman of the
Okay, go ahead.
I want to find out from you whether there is now a resolution between the transition and the New York State, but as long as there is a conflict
Okay, that's just a question we're talking about. Just keep watching, you get your answer. Thanks for calling.
Thank you very much.
That's a question. We'll talk about inclusion and the way forward.
Right.
So how do we resolve it?
Right, I think it's better that I go about answering the question first of all. It's a very, very good question.
Go ahead.
And that is to say that there's no resolution between us. There's absolutely no resolution. We have on several occasions tried to get in contact or stay in contact with Visionscape based on His Excellency's program, that we know right now that we've been told that the part of the job that includes the domestic has been concessioned out to Visionscape. And we do know, and I'm sure everybody knows, that Visionscape has absolutely no power to do that. They do not have the equipment, because if they did, we would not be where we are. You will not see any refuse on the street or on the median or on the roads. So we have tried, we've reached out to them on several occasions to at least strike a deal, to have to resonate with, in consonance with what we've been given by the governor, to reach out to them to tell them we have the apparatus, we have the machinery, we have the technological know-how, we have the local knowledge of what we want to do, and they should bring their terms and agreements of engagement more than 20 times.
So more or less, this is how we bridge the lacuna you're talking about.
Absolutely, and let me tell you what has happened along the line. When we reached out to them, they offered us 30,000 naira per trip, and I tell you that 30,000 naira per trip cannot do the job.
Okay.
About 2006 or 5 thereabout, we were receiving 30,000 naira to cart away refuse from all locality around here to the existing dump site, and that includes the Olusosun dump site that just got caught in the fire incident.
Can we talk about that incident?
Right.
What happened?
Well, so many things happened. What we understand is the natural gas, because when you evacuate refuse and then dump it in the dump site, there are some very hazardous gases that becomes formed as a result of this composition of this waste. And those hazardous gases, in contact or in consonance with the present or the past weather, you know, in the past weeks we had a very high temperature ignited the fire. I'm not an expert on this one, but we do have experts in this that can tell you word for word exactly how that started. But what I was made to understand is that started naturally. Whether that is so or not, I don't know. I can't believe the fact. But the fact of the matter is, Olusosun is now closed down because of the fact that a fire or the inferno happened, and it was very, very dangerous. It is still ongoing. It's ongoing. Still have pockets of fire erupting on the
like yesterday, the visibility there was totally zero because I went through that route. The smell. Absolutely. It's not safe to humans.
And this is one of the reasons why we told the authorities that you cannot do such an enormous job. You cannot give it to somebody who does not know about it. You should recollect that Olusosun has been in existence for several years. We have never ever at any point in time have such incidences, and that is because it was properly managed. It was properly managed with proper resources. Okay. So in the last few years, or in about a year ago, it was reconcentrated out to somebody who is possibly has tried his best to manage it. And I must say that it has not been well managed.
Okay, as we begin to round up on our discussion this morning, your final take on resolution of the matter on ground. The
resolution can only give us a backup job. We have tried on several grounds, on several occasions, to find a meeting point with Visionscape. We've tried severally to make sure that we meet Visionscape, who has been concessioned out to carry out the domestic carting away of the refuse. We have failed on this ground. We are in court, talking to court. There's no sincerity of purpose from that side. There's no sincerity of purpose from some part of the governmental side. And I could go on and elaborate on this. The only resolution, the only solution to this problem is let us go back to status quo. Give back the job to the PSP operators that has been handling the job. Equip the PSP operators. Help the PSP operators. Back them up with the latest technologies. Give them funds to be able to access new technologies regarding the equipment they're going to use. Once you've done that, once you've given us, empowered us, and given us the availability or the viability for us to viably operate, to thrive, because you have to remember that we support over 20,000 jobs. We have local economy that we support. And all those will go down the drain if we are uprooted from this job.
From this system.
Yes.
All right, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show. I've been speaking with Oladipo Igbeyemi. He is the chairman, Waste Managers of Nigeria, Lagos State. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much.
All right, that is the show, people. This morning, we do hope you've been informed, and our desire is to see a cleaner Lagos at the end of the day. Cleaner Lagos, the refuse removed as promptly as possible, and of course, we all live healthy. The old saying still exists that cleanliness is next to godliness, and we want to be godly inside and outside. And of course, the architects that we brought in, you have a building, do not patronize quacks. Get yourself an architect, so we do not have building collapse right, left, and center. And you know, we're all safe for it. That is the show this morning. I want to thank the gentleman who called on the show, and of course the other gentleman who tried to call. We're going to get through on other shows. Please do try and call in more. My name is Annie Beniche. Stay safe, stay clean, be positive. God bless you. Bye-bye.